Hello guys, welcome back to another Boom Beach video. So today we are going to be talking about a subject I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time, and that is gymming up your Boom Beach bass. So I got a comment the other day. Do we have Dr. Terror today? No, we have War Factory. I'm not going to do it today. So I got a comment the other day, or yeah, it was like yesterday or something, and a guy said I was gymming up my bass. And I just wanted to touch on the topic of gymming. A lot of people think that as soon as you buy diamonds, if you buy diamonds on a game like Boom Beach, then you are gymming up your bass. And that is totally not true. The only, why I need to boost up my gumbo energy. Yeah, that's not true at all. What I think of when someone says gymming, I think of someone that gymmed up pretty much the entire base. And I just want to talk about why I am not a gymmer, because a lot of people seem to think that if someone's maxed out, they have to be a gymmer because they got the game after us. Even though you might have 100% farmed it, they got the game after you, so they think you're a gymmer because you're maxed out and they aren't. I just think that's like bad, that how people think about that, the psychological theory behind that. But I just want you guys to know that if someone has a maxed out base, it's because they're one, a gymmer, or two, they farmed it up. There's really no other options. You can't have half gymmer, half farmer, because it's still gymming. And yeah, so gymming, in my opinion, is buying maybe over $1,000 worth of diamonds. And because the game, it takes about $16,000 to max out your base. That is a lot of money. So if you spend over $1,000, I think that's pretty much gymming right there. That's like over 100,000 diamonds if you bought over 100,000 diamonds. But if you buy under that, I don't consider those people gymmers. Like, yeah, they're using a lot of diamonds, but they're not gymming. Yeah, they could be gymming up the base, but it's still, they're only getting 1/16 of the way down the game. While if you farm it, it's just basically speeding up the process, and it kind of depends how people use the diamonds. If there are people using the diamonds, why wasn't I able to place that? If there are people using the diamonds to buy loot, I think that's more gymming than if they spend it to do time. Because another thing is, I don't think gymming is just buying gems to speed up the loot or to get more loot. That is gymming. But if I should rephrase that. This guy's gonna die over there. Dang it. Okay, let's try to rephrase that so it sounds a little better. You are gymming if you buy loot. If you buy a lot of loot, or $1,000 worth of loot, that's considered gymming. This is all my opinion, guys. That's considered gymming if you buy over $1,000 worth of loot. Now, if you buy under $1,000 worth of loot, then I don't consider that person gymming, because loot is so expensive to buy. Like, to buy up the weapon factory, or the prototype weapon lab, this guy's gonna die also. Please don't die. If you gym up the weapon lab, loot-wise, and that guy died over there, this guy's gonna die. This was a bad base. Does this guy have, like, health or something? There we go. That's why. Bases with all health are very hard to take out, and hopefully that guy won't die. We'll drop some critters. Still, I'm kind of getting distracted here, and it's kind of taking away my points here. I had points planned out for once in my life, but yes, gymming is if you buy loot over $1,000 worth of loot. So because loot, like I was saying, it costs $50 to gym up the weapon lab. So if you buy $1,000 worth of loot, then that is considered gymming. I don't consider gymming up time gymming, because if you're not buying the loot, because if you're gymming up time, you're just speeding up the process. I can't consider that gymming. But I want to talk about me personally. I'm not a gymmer. I have never bought diamonds to gym up loot. Well, okay, there might have been like one time where I wanted to get something, but that was only because I'm lazy. But I didn't nowhere near even spend $1,000. The most I spent on this game is about $50, and that was only the fast train up troops for videos. That's only for that. Did this guy have boosted? No, he doesn't, but he does have that. And a doom cannon in the back. I need to retrain my troops quick. So yes, I only spent those gems to retrain troops. If you spend $1,000, or if you spend $5,000 and the only thing you spend it on is retraining your troops, then that's not gymming, because retraining troops only helps you attack more, so get more loot. The only time you're gymming is if you gym up the time. No, gym up the loot. I'm so sorry, I'm getting so turned around here. The only time you're gymming is if you gym up the actual loot. And you spend over $1,000 buying loot. So if like I farm the entire day, I have max storages, I upgrade something, I gym up the time of that, and then I upgrade something again, I don't consider that gymming, even if you do that for over $1,000. Now, who would spend $1,000? I don't know. I know I would never spend $1,000 on a game. I don't know if I would ever even spend $100 on a game. But it totally depends to you, personally. Like, what do you have? Now, I know it's hard to get loot as a lower level, and it may seem tempting. Like, my dad plays Boom Beach, and he gymmed up like $5. He didn't buy it, but he saves up his diamonds, and then once he has a big upgrade, he spends those diamonds on the loot. And I just think that's like so messed up, because loot is so overpriced in this game. You don't need to buy the loot to win the game. You could easily farm it up if you just spend like half an hour more, a couple power powder more. You could easily gym up that loot. I mean, not gym it up, but you'll save more in the end if you like half an hour worth. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make myself as clear as possible here, because people are always accusing me of gymming, and I just wanted to touch on that topic, because I'm not a gymmer, and I don't consider most people gymmers. The only people that are really gymmers are the people probably at the top that are like, not even those people, like 100% farm. You could be 100% farmed by now. You could have been 100% farmed like 2 months ago. So it really depends on how much stuff there are in the game, because a lot of people are 100% farmed, and you have to realize that there are other people better than you out there in the game that have played this game longer than you, unless you've been here since beta, closed beta. But yeah, I just really needed to touch on this, because people are always accusing YouTubers for gymming. And like, okay, let's talk about Nick at Night here. Nick at Night, I would consider him a gymmer. Now, don't get defensive, because I love Nick at Night, guys. I'm not trying to roast Nick at Night, because I love his videos, but he is a gymmer on Boom Beach, and I think everyone knows it, because he did that Gymming to Max series, which is an awesome series, but he spent over $1,000 just buying the loot. And yeah, that's gymming. So I would consider him a gymmer. But me, I'm not a gymmer, because I don't spend that much on loot. I don't spend anything on loot. I don't go out and buy loot just to get an upgrade in. I farm it up with my resource reward statues, which is a lot more. You'll save more money. You might not even save more time if you just got the right resource reward statues. Like me, I had like 8 resource reward statues back in the day. Wait, the max is 10 or 8. I think the max is 10, so I had 8. Yeah, the max is 10, so I had 8. I had my 8, and then I had a 1. Actually, no, I had like 7, and then I had a Gumbo Energy, a Damage, and then a Health, and the rest were just resource rewards. And I had over 200 on boosted, I believe. No, over 100 on boosted. So I would get 100% loot boost every single battle I would attack. So if I got 100,000 gold from a battle, that would transfer into 200,000. Or if someone offered 100,000, I'd get 200,000. And that's how I was able to pull off the 12 million loot raid. If I didn't have those boosts, I would have only gotten 6 million loot, which is really bad. But that 12 million loot, that was all because of my resource reward statues. So I think it's just important to note, you're not calling out people for gymming just because they're better than you. You're calling out people who gym. You don't even want to call people to gym. I mean, like, yeah, people are gonna admit it, but it's just kind of rude, you know? I don't know. So we are moving out to the base here, just gonna wipe it out. And he does have a shock blaster. He has a shock launcher. And what do we have? We have nothing. We have a few energy. We're gonna drop an energy shock here. This guy's really low. And the reason I'm dropping down on metals is I'm gonna be dropping down to 600 and then starting a series down there. But that will all come out. I kind of mentioned that on my streams before, but that will all come out. It's not quite a series, it's more of an experiment. So yeah, you'll see a video about that when I'm finally ready. And we'll just barrage my critters. Look at that. So cool. Okay, we got all that loot. So let's just say this. I had 200,000 gold. So my thing keeps kicking off. Okay, I got 200,000 gold, so I had to get 400,000 gold, and that made me, that gave me, I only had to attack half as many people other players had to attack, because I had those statues. So I only had to attack, let's say, 10 people to grab my loot for a big upgrade, while other people had to attack 20 people. And if you take into consideration the training time, the troop, or if you gemmed up the troops, the cost of diamonds for that, you'll actually spend way more time and way more diamonds if you do not have resource rewards. So I think the most important thing, if you're struggling with loot, is to get resource reward statues. Get so many of them. Get 100% on boosted, and get that. So like I would say only have the masterpiece of that, Gumbo energy, damage, and health, and you could get some pretty good warrior attacks. And if you don't like warriors, get used to them, because that's your best friend if you are lower level, and get all the rest statues resource reward. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry, but I just needed to touch on this. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Jimmy and I now going to be posting 2 times a day, Boom Beach and Clash Royale every single day, as along with a video on the second channel, and that is called Extreme Teens, a challenge video, so definitely go over to that, and I'll talk to you guys next time.